Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are alive now. The show's starting a little late because my guest was traveling, and so he needs to get himself situated. He'll be on here shortly. So, in the meantime, uh, we'll talk a little bit before Mayor Frank comes on. Big weekend this weekend in Andrews, South Carolina. Shout out to the whole homecoming staff, the whole, and that's the school, everybody that was involved in that. Um, the whole parade was really nice. Bombs for that. A little long. It got uh, disconnected a little bit. Um, yeah, I sent invites to everybody. So at some point, if you would like to come on tonight and be a part of the show, just put it in the comment section and I will inbox you through Messenger or through text a link so that you can be a part of the show. See. Do. Access to interview. All right, I'll send it through your messenger here. I don't know if it was because I wasn't on then. All right, let me get this other business straight, y'all. Let me get this shared out to the public. Edit privacy. All right, there we go. Now it's shared out to the public, and here we are. Okay, so that should be out there now. Let me see if I can get. Again, this is welcome to Andrews the podcast. If you would hit that like button, hit that follow button over there for me. Go follow Welcome to Andrews of podcast, as well as me, Jamal S. Richardson. And every time I go live, you'll know. I mean, not that you want to know every time I go live, but you know. But I got a great show for you guys tonight. It's gonna get heated like it usually does on Tuesday night. So a lot of different topics we're gonna cover, but before we get into all of that stuff, you know what I mean? I like to because I know quite a few people coming for the drama. And let me say this. Um if you have an opinion about the way or the information that I put out, um, what you could do, right, is hit my Cash App and leave a donation and then tell me what it is you would like to see changed and what let me know what your concerns are. Okay. Now, unless you send a sizable donation, I doubt that I'll be, you know what I mean, but I will consider the fact that hey, this person is but if you don't contribute to the podcast, um, if you think this is free, if you think I'm doing this for your entertainment, well, that's partly why I'm doing it. But the point I'm getting at is everybody inboxing me with all of this. I'm not reading that stuff. Okay, I'm just not reading it. Okay, and you have the opportunity to not watch. That's the easiest way you could deal with what I'm saying. Okay. Again, we're going to get deeper off into the woods of that, but again, I'm waiting for my guest to get. He's traveling tonight, and so I'm waiting for him to get settled, and he'll be on here shortly. But in the meantime, again, let's talk about some things going on in and around Andrews, South Carolina. All right. and we are still doing the 21 days of prayer. Um, I'm not. It doesn't show me here a order or anything, but on Facebook Live, I know you can go over to my classmates page, Eddie Shack. That's his brother up there, brother Shackleford, brother Michael. He is, the organizer of this this movement. It's not an event; it's a movement. Okay, prayer intervention, October 3rd through the 23rd, via Facebook Live. All right, so y'all make sure y'all share those. Every time you see it, you see somebody share it, you share it along with them. Okay, because we need it. Of course, you guys are seeing this and happening in real time. What else we got here? Tidelands, ma'am. It's time to ma'am and glam. All right. So October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month and Domestic Violence Month. Today is Mental Health Day. So shout out to the mental health warriors out there, whoever you may be. All right. Too busy to get a mammogram scheduled. Thailand's Health is making it easier than ever to get your mammogram at Mam and Glam. Take care of yourself and take care of your annual mammogram at the same time. An opportunity is, excuse me, I keep saying an opportunity. An appointment is required to schedule the mammogram. To schedule your mammogram, call 843-848-5101. And the times for these mammograms are going to be Saturday, October 14th at 8 a.m. to noon. And this first location is going to be Thailand's Memorial Hospital. Um, and that's on Black River Road in Georgetown. Kind of sure everybody knows where that's at. And the next opportunity is going to be that first one's going to be this Saturday. And then next week, it's going to be okay, I'm sending that link right now, sir. Um, the next one's going to be on the 21st, and that's going to take place at all right, there it is. October 21st at from 8 a.m. to noon, and that's going to be at Thailand's Health Imaging. Okay, and that's 4181 Highway 17 in Merle's Inlet. And on the 28th, it's going to be Saturday, October 28th from 8 to noon. It's going to be at the Tidelands Health Medical Park at Market Commons, and that's going to be on Myrtle Beach. So for Georgetown County, that's going to be this week. So if you can go ahead and you need to get in there and call tomorrow, 843-848-5101. Else you're going to have to take the drive over to Myrtle's Inlet or to Myrtle Beach. So govern yourselves accordingly. Here's some more community events coming up over in Bloomingville, South Carolina. And here we go. It's a fall festival. All right. And I didn't do okay. So we got New Life Outreach AMS presents youth advisor, Rachel and Tasha Fall Festival. And it's going to take place October 28th from 12 to 6 p.m. They're gonna have a 360 booth, cotton candy, food trucks, games. It's gonna be a great time for kids. It's gonna take place at the Bloomingville Community Center, and that's located on 8292 Thurgood Marshall Highway. Let's see if I can find a number. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed this big part of it. It's gonna be a Perlo and barbecue cook-off. Okay, they're gonna have a dunk tank, petting zoo. That sounds like a good time. Again, this is going to be in the Bloomingville community at the Bloomingville Community Center. Um, so make your way out there. Okay. 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 And listen, Send me your events. Send them to my inbox, the community events, and I will get them in there. Also going on in the Bloomingville Community Center is the first Friday of the month, November 3rd, Blooming Wings and Karaoke. That should be fun. Open, free to the public. The Bloomingville Community Center open 8 p.m. and they're gonna be serving. Um, and this is gonna be for purchase. You free entry, but the food is gonna cost. I think that's fair. Blooming wings, fish tacos, cooked to order. All proceeds to support the Bloomingville Community Association Center, St. Mark, Warsaw, Birch Creek. So again, Bloomingville is doing the thing, and that's going to take place again the first Friday, November 3rd, and it's going to be at the Bloomingville Community Center, of course. Let's see, they got one more here. Again, the Bloomingville they got their ads in. Ads, AD, sound like Z. Bloomingville. Okay, Halloween is fast approaching, guys. Bloomingville with the Coakleys. Bloom. Okay, they just coming up with all these different names for Bloomingville. Blooming Ween with the Coakleys in collaboration with the Bloomingville St. Mark Warsaw Birch Creek Community Association, Trunk or Treat, and Haunted Trail, Saturday, October 28th, 8 p.m. until 9 p.m. And that's going to take place at 9225 Thurgood Marshall Highway. And it says, calling all churches, social clubs, car and bike shows. It's a kids event, but the adults have to help sponsor it, featuring decorated cars, haunted trails, treats, and much, much more. Security and safe precautions will be enforced. So looking forward to that also. All right, let's see what's going on with these links here. Okay, I got you. I got you. And I haven't been on Andrews's page today to see if because I know they have a Halloween event on Main Street, or they did. So we'll see when the mayor comes on. Maybe he can tell me a little bit about it. All right. Yep, I sent that to your inbox there, sir. All right. Let's see what we got. Y'all. What's up, Shakira? How are you, cousin? Shout out, salute the sound mixers of Atlanta. Again, guys, I don't say it all the time, but they are definitely a huge supporter of Welcome to Andrew's Podcast. I mean, huge. So definitely appreciate you, cuz. All right, so I'm waiting now. Let me see. I sent some links out and I'm hearing back from because I'm about to text you that link so you can come on if you would like. Get into the conversation tonight. Conversation is going to go a couple different places. So for those, there is Mayor just popped in, and without let me get this sent out to you, Kira. You said you thought about where you at. Mm, 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 mm. All right, there we go. Bing. I sent it in the text. All right, guys. It is Real Talk Tuesday, and you are listening to Welcome to Edge the Podcast. I appreciate you guys who've been here thus far and been hitting that like button. We got a bunch more people in there. Maybe that like button doesn't work tonight. I am going to take the pay requirement off. So I'm not charging for you to hit the like button. So if you hit the like button, It won't charge your account. I promise you that. Okay. No doubt. Glow, man. That listen, it was wow, we gonna get into this weekend because this was a magnificent weekend. And it is something when all that love just going into the air, everybody leaves like charged, like you know what I mean? Like you did like we didn't came back to I guess it'd probably be the same for the Muslims when they go to Mecca. You know what I mean? Okay. Got that. I understand you. Let me see. Let me bring you on, sir, and see if we can clear that feedback up there. But guys, here's my guest, Mr. the Honorable Mayor Frank McClary. Sound on that. All right, how you doing,
Hey, I'm exhausted.
sir? I bet. I bet, man. First of all, you know what I mean, welcome. Thank you for taking the time. I know you been traveling tonight and you had to get yourself situated before you can come on. So I do appreciate that. And
Yeah, we
so
still
got
have the feedback.
some feedback. Okay. And hmm, 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 hmm. All right, let's see what we got here. My old audio. All right, do we still have that feedback?
I don't think so. I think we're good.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm this program that I'm using and trying new features, but no.
Not yet.
Oh, we still got the feedback?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's see what we can do here. All right. Let me I'm gonna send you out and I want you to come back in, okay? All right, let's see what we got here. Brother Kendall was telling me about that last night. Mm. Okay, does is it still picking up that feedback? Do we still have feedback? Okay. All right, how about now? All right, let's see what we got going on here. All right, can you hear me?
I can hear you. It's a delay and it
Okay, uh you know what I think it is? I think it is the connection on your end. Um let's see what we can do there. Are you on the where you at? Are you on the Wi-Fi? Okay. All right.
yes.
I can kind of hear that on that. Let's see. I don't know what happened the last time. Last night I had the same thing with brother Jeremiah and them and his wife. Hmm. Can you guys hear feedback from us that's listening? Can I get somebody in the comment section? Let me know if you hear. Are you hearing the feedback? Because I think it's in the connection.
It could be, and I can try my cell phone.
Yeah, try the speaker. Somehow. All right, because they don't hear the feedback. I know it's done got completely hot in here. Okay, so they're saying no feedback on that on our end. All right. But there's a delay whenever you whenever we're talking.
That's correct.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna have to work it because it's a connection. It's a connection. Maybe if you go off of their Wi-Fi, maybe that'll work.
All right, let me see what we can do with that.
Okay. All right, yo, we're gonna get it correct. We're gonna get it correct. Like I said, I think it's a Wi-Fi connection. That's what happens when you're moving around, and it just got hot in here. But thank you guys for the feedback. I got you. I see everybody in there, and again, it is going to be a great show. If y'all would continue to hit that like button so we can bring more people in there. Let me make sure I got all of these announcements out of the way. But we had a great time this weekend. I'm just sharing some pictures with you from this weekend. Live in the Flesh band. There's Movana, and it was just a bunch of people there. There's Officer Brown, and I forgot the other guy's name. There he is, Mr. Langley. Did a great job. Had a great performance. I mean, a awesome performance. Over the Moon, the lady with the fire, that was awesome. Again, more people, smiling faces. There's Pat and his son. And I asked that young lady, I said, "Can I have a piece of that funnel cake?" She said, "No." I said, "Can I get a picture?" She was like, "Yeah." There's some of the town staff. Shout out to them. They had that thing coordinated to a T this weekend. Again, some more people. Do do do. Boom 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 boom. Again, guys, I apologize about the technical difficulties that we're having here tonight, but we're gonna get through this. I promise you. I promise you. And and that's it makes for not a good with that delay. Having that delay, it just won't be good for the thing. So, but I think once he gets off of that Wi-Fi where he's at, I think we'll be just fine. So, this is a cup I got in front of me, but the color of the cup. Wow, I didn't even know it was going to do that. Okay. And I'm almost maxed out on my hours on StreamYard, the time. So I think I'm going to be trying a new platform. Jay, if you in here, send me the link to that platform so I can start working on that new platform, that the one that you was recommending to me.
Mayor Frank McClary, a man on a mission, who understood the assignment: town budget, fiscal responsibility, town infrastructure, tackling neglected projects, town independence, making sure its citizens have the final say, town growth, paving the way for future investments. Re-elect Mayor Frank McClary to continue the mission of serving in the best interest of all the people of Andrews.
Definitely agree with that. Maybe it's, let's see.
This needs to.
I'm Chef BJ Dennis from Charleston, South Carolina. Born and raised in Charleston, currently actually living we call Low Bottom, Okeechobee, Port Royal area, down near South Beaufort County. But yeah, I'm born and raised in Charleston. Right now we in Georgetown County, low country through and through. We in Georgetown, right here on Front Street by the Rice Museum, getting ready for the rice cook-off. I'm one of the MCs today for it, doing a little demo, a little talk on the history of rice. We ain't gonna get into the history of rice right now, because that's a whole nother, I'll be back for that conversation. I'll be back on the podcast for that conversation. But yeah, man, we just here representing the culture, Gullah Geechee culture. I'm a chef, caterer. I cater up and down the coast. Most of my work is in Charleston, but I'm up and down the coast, from Savannah up to Myrtle Beach, catering, personal chef, private chef. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it. You can find me on social media at Chef BJ Dennis on Instagram, mainly on Instagram most of the time. I also got a Facebook business page. But yeah, man, follow me if you want to learn more about the history of rice. We don't think about rice as one of the fabrics that made not just the South, but this country rich during the colonial period, off the knowledge of our ancestors. So we'll get back to that one day, but peace and blessings, y'all.
I'm 53 years old. I've been pastoring, senior pastor now for 30 plus years. I've been a part of meetings and conferences and business, and so I have some insight about leadership. So, but we just wanted to take some time to just generally, briefly introduce who I am.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Yep. So we still waiting to get straight here. Hey guys, make sure you go over to Amazon.com, Walmart.com, anywhere you can purchase a book, and purchase this book right here. It's called Black Eyelids Etched in Gold. And they were my guests last night. Please go and check out that podcast. It was very, very good, therapeutic, even. So make sure you go and check that out. Again, I'm waiting here until the mayor gets back on, and we're gonna go ahead with this. A lot of things to talk about. One of the things is this stuff right here that's popping up online right here, guys. Watch out for this page right here. It's another page that somebody's created. Okay, there you go. I heard him got back in there. I'm sorry, sir. I didn't mean to get into that right already. I'm a little bit anxious. We're supposed to be talking some other stuff first. All right, let me get back up. Let's see what we got. All right, how we doing?
Oh, okay. How about that?
All right, I think we're good to go, right?
Yeah, it
Oh,
sounds
whoa,
good.
yeah. You good? That fast response guy, we got it. All right, guys, we are there. Give it up for the mayor. He didn't turn into a techie on us real fast, but it's all good. Again, sir, welcome. So, right off the bat, the elephant in the room. Salute to you and your staff. Again, the police, everybody involved in making this weekend a successful weekend. Some thoughts on this weekend, the Heritage Festival, as I run through some pictures again, sir.
No, actually, the credit goes to the staff, but more importantly to the citizens and all the participants of the homecoming activities. Shout out to Miss Mahone and her staff for an excellent job homecoming and the tailgate. All those things went well. And then as we transition over to Saturday, where my staff carried a lot of the heavy weight for the portion that we were responsible for, and for the activities on the west side of the block road for Miss Monique,
West
Antoine,
Side.
all those for when so just all together, very very successful and positive. It was more like a family reunion, to be honest with you. The only thing I would that concerns me, we had a lot of kids, unsupervised kids running around, but no one got hurt. It was very safe. We had a great time. We had an opportunity to hear and interact with this young man, Mr. Jamar Langley, who is our hometown hero right now as he embarks upon his career. Of course, he was the one of the top 15 contestants in the 2023 The Voice, and we were very, very excited and satisfied, if you will, with the performance he provided for us, and all of the other performers that day. Of course, we kicked it off with the gospel explosion led by Miss Angie Anderson, Councilwoman Anderson, who put that together along with the Christians Fellowship. Awesome 2 hours of gospel, and Reverend Jeremiah Cumby, as you know, brought the word for us that day. And again, with all the prayers that's going on with Bishop Michael Shackelford, the prayer walk, those fine gentlemen right there who continue to pray over the town, and I think it all came together. It was a positive outcome. Exhausting. I'm still tired. Now I'm off on doing some other government work where I am now, and but it's all worth it. Had a great time.
Yeah, and the boys came to play Friday night. My boys came to play Friday night. They put it on Mullen something. They could have scored 70 points if they wanted to.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah.
But again, in a game like that where your matchup is not as competitive as as a team, you still find some things that we need to work on. But overall, I think we had a great. Now I will tell you who was impressive to me. All of them were, but you got McNair and Donovan. I think Davion McNair and
55.
yeah, Jacoby, man. I call those guys pressure cookers.
Yes.
They had so much pressure on that quarterback all night long, and I realized these guys play both ways. So they are always grinding, and it seemed like they had like endless, energy. They went after these guys, and I think Luke Blakely, of course, Brandon Cumby, AJ, Levon. Levon was a beast. Seemed like the guy
Levon,
wasn't hurt.
podcast player of the week again, man. That he before the game, he was like, my last homecoming. I'm like, all right, well, you know what to do. And at the end of the game, he came to me, said 4 touchdowns.
Yeah. Aaron, the Dorsey guys, boys, men, Zion, all those guys that just played.
Hey, listen, my man George Acosta, Acosta Hernandez. Hey,
George said, "Give me the ball." He was kicking that thing, man, like we were getting at it all year.
Yeah, I was so happy for him. You know what I mean? Because he was nervous, of course, and you know, and I got some real good shots of him. So I was just happy for them guys all
Hey,
around, man.
we gotta
That was a
we gotta make him an honorable mention.
got to make him. Listen, I gave him the player to watch.
Oh,
Because
you
I'm
did?
looking.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. I'm
okay.
looking forward to seeing him. That's big. That field goal kicking part of the game. That's big, man. With the kind
Oh,
of offense
absolutely.
we got, that's big. You know. And so I look forward. I look forward to big things out of him. Now, uh, I got to give it up to the new Welcome to Andrews sideline reporter, Miss Melody Burke. She has the TV name and everything. And listen, guys, she did this with no script. Like she was just like, all right, I'll do it. And so I kind of mouthed a couple questions to her, and she took it from there. So I just look for her to just get better and better at, you know what I mean? Um,
Yeah, and and again, we recognize our homecoming king and queen,
yep,
and all of
definitely,
the
definitely.
young men and ladies who participated in that. And I'm sure it was very close race, and but they all beautiful and handsome, guys and girls out there on the field. So I think it was overall, and you see the Facebook feedback. Um, One positive thing Facebook is,
Yeah,
is
yeah, and that's I there's some humor in my background tonight, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna leave it at that. You know what I mean? And so um with all that love and everything that was just in the air, man, just um it just I think that's the focus. And so you say you're right now you are you on the job again?
yeah, I'm on, yeah. This is this is yeah, I'm on the job at an undisclosed location.
Man, you just started now. Come on now. You just you, oh my goodness. They gonna have you and the man that took all the money from the Heritage Festival.
Hey, look, hey, all I got to do is check the budget, man. This is all town's work. I don't follow that foolishness.
Yeah, and I mean you shouldn't, man. But yeah, there was a lot of love on there and a lot of people really um showing a lot of support for you, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And and I think that was a culmination of like they said, okay, well, we see what this guy's doing, and everybody want to reduce it down to that weekend, but I think
no, it's
that was the okay. Listen,
yeah.
this is where we really you got to kind of see, um, yeah, because
Look,
that was
a community that's again, when you look at a municipality, any organization, you have to have these events. These events are for the community, and it's for all to come out. That's why you see the diversity and all of the different things we have part of it. Things that are for the kids. Um, the music. Again, this was the first time we have had this much gospel. We understand we have 20 some odd churches here in town, and so we expect them to come out and be a part of it. And again, credit to Miss Angie and the Christian Fellowship for doing just that. And it was and we had just as well, not as many, because you're getting early in the day, the crowd is not there as many, but they missed a blessing because it was truly a great time. And so we had that, and then we try to make sure that all of the everything we do represents our community, the diversity in our community. And so every thriving community, or one that is on the road to thrive, will have an annual event. You just read off, as when I came on, I heard all of these things going in Bloomingville. Bloomingville is a very small community, but they have big events and people come out and they all fellowship. That's how you become a unified community, when you can come out, get away from the politics, the job, and just relax. Um, and that's what it's all. And so those who came out to participate was fine. Again, it's a weekend or one night. We know the music's going to be loud. We did have the when the DJ had played a song on there that was not approved. We had that. We addressed that with him. You can't do that. That is, this community. We're not going to have the vulgar language, that kind of stuff. We addressed that. And when it got to the time that we had set,
Now, sir, I'm going to defend my man from Ron, and not for the music,
no,
and
the music was
because it,
fine.
it
We
was
had
it
one
was
song,
it was yeah, one song
one
that,
song,
and
one song,
like he immediately, you know what I mean, like, and so yeah, I first of all
one
salute
song, and
Dynamite Man,
so
because
we can't. He did an excellent job.
yes, yes,
We will
yes,
have him back anytime.
yes, sir.
It was one song that got blown out of proportion, and again, you got to
Hmm.
look at the motivation behind that. And we're going to continue to do that. We're going to
Yep.
continue to have events that bring people out. I haven't heard from my coordinator for the Halloween event yet, but
Okay.
that's an annual event. Those things again for the community, for the people, and we're going to continue that because it's important. We're not
Hey,
going to
so
deviate.
I even and because I the Heritage Festival, and I had a job in Georgetown Saturday morning, so I was on Front Street doing some work, and I'm right there by the Rice Museum, and so they were having something, and then the tourists coming off, and I said to myself, I said, you know what, we need to really, because there is a tour in Andrews to be had, you know what I mean, and next year the Chamber of Commerce should be directing those buses to the Heritage Festival. You know what I mean? To come down to take to take in some of the history of Andrews, because this is part of Georgetown County, as well as, then now I'm gonna say this again. This is Real Talk Tuesday. Um, I need you guys to pay attention to what I'm saying here carefully. Gab News did not cover the Heritage Festival. Okay, he came and he took some pictures at the parade, but he did not cover the Heritage Festival. All right. Now, I'm saying that that's intentional, because it's my position that this is what they do in Georgetown County. They don't want to highlight, too much in Andrews, right? And from all accounts, this was a super safe, fun weekend. Okay, not all accounts. I'm stretching it a little bit there, but I wanted to make that known to the listeners, that take note of that. Okay, because that's not a small thing. Meaning that that folks that are connected throughout this county through that media source, they're not hearing about what took place in Andrews. Okay, and that's right in your county, and you got people all over social media, but the biggest newspaper, okay, and also the local quote unquote newspaper, which I don't have much nice things to say about them, so I'll save that for some other time. So it's important, okay. If we doing it wrong, then show that. But if we doing it right, show that too. Just be fair across the board. But go ahead with what you're saying, sir. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So it's necessary. So we're gonna, we're 7 years straight running this event. It continues to get big, and again, we're a small town, not a whole lot of places. We don't have a fairground, like back in the day when the good old days, and where Super Chick, not Super Chick, I'm sorry, Food Line and all those places now you have, everything is built up. It consumed a lot of that area, I think, where these events took place. And so we don't have a lot of room to do these things, but it's necessary. And again, so much positive feedback. Again, a shout out to Chief Cockrell, who brought in some assistance from the city of Georgetown, city of Kingstree, and
Oh, so y'all working together?
oh, absolutely.
I thought you. Oh, man, go ahead, sir.
Well,
I apologize.
again, you got, we can't follow someone's opinion who's not involved. And so, unfortunately, that sparks a lot of conversation. But when you get on the ground and you come and see what's happening, those guys, those young men and women on the ground work together. But I will tell you that the other thing that was important to the security piece of this, everybody who had a separate event plan outside of what the town put together, we all came together and we talked about.
Yeah, get on that, because I think that played a major part, and a lot of folks, like A lot of folks don't know about that part of it, but please shout out those folks too, because they did they did a great job in keeping this thing.
Listen, it was hard for me to it was so well done down and on the west side of the town.
West Side. There you go with that West
The
Side.
it is it is the west side. I know I'm not gonna get in that, but, it was so well done, but what we did, we thought it was necessary. I spoke with the chief and I said, "Well, let's pull all of the, uh, coordinators for other events because again you have classes that were planning to come together and have a good time and that's okay, but we had to express and share the concerns because again we're just coming off a very tragic situation. The anxiety is high, expectation, but again you have to find a way to work around and through those things, and you have to do it by putting extra measures in place, and that's what we did. So when we call those folks and they all showed up and we all left there on the same understanding that really it was about having a safe, fun environment for all to enjoy. And I will tell you, it was less chaotic on that end because it was so well organized, tense. It was great. And so I walked down, I went down and spent a little time down there with the team. But again, but shout out to again Miss Monique Thompson, Mr. Twan, Mr. Rutledge, Big Boy, and that whole committee. They had a very nice band down there as well. But again, I like to see it as one. It's synchronized and it's one. It's not them and us, the town. It was a community thing, and you have to respect the fact that the classes. We had every class at Andrews High represented in tailgate, which I think, with the exception of 3, and so they want to get together and celebrate together as classmates. And now, when they wanted to have some family things for the kids, they came down to our area, and it was an interchange. It was a constant movement to and from the two organized events, and they did extremely well. And it deserved the attention that it's getting right now because again, the assumption that this was going to go to hell in a handbasket, and it didn't. We didn't have any incident that caused any alarm to shut things down. It was very clear, and they were very focused on safety as well. So I didn't have to do any preaching. It's just that we have to synchronize our efforts and make sure that we were all, moving towards the same goal, is to make it a fun event. And every year it gets bigger because the word spreads, and now people are already talking about next year. And so we're going to continue this. We're going to this happens to be festival events time for us. So the next thing's coming up is the Halloween piece of that. And again, I'm waiting to hear from the coordinator. You have in November, it's the Veterans Parade on November 4th, 1 p.m.
Mr. Bennett.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find something on his page. Go ahead. Let me
Yeah,
see if I can
and then so that's on the 4th of November, 1 p.m. They will have the veterans. Of course, I'm going to support my veterans and my fellow veterans, I should say. And that's on 4th of November at 1 p.m. And it'll move same route as the other parade, but they will turn on far and then meet at the pavilion and then move to the Veterans Memorial site out at the American Legion location.
What's the gentleman's name? What's his name?
Mr. Greg Bennett.
Greg Bennett. There it is.
Yeah, he's a coordinator, and I'm gonna say to you, myself, and other veterans, we need to join the association because they have 5 members right now. So Mr. Bennett is getting work pretty hard. So we need to go ahead and get in there and assist with all of these veterans activity. He is a
dedicated soldier.
So we appreciate him. And then the last event for this year will be the Christmas parade, which is always on the second Sunday. Okay. So we know these things are coming up, and again, we have great participation out there, but that's what it's all about. It's going to inconvenience you for a little while in terms of the traffic, but we think through those things. If there's an emergency, there's a route for them to get around and get to and from. Unfortunately, we did not have a situation like that, and it's important. So I applaud everybody that participated in that and made it as fun as it was.
No doubt. Here's something on Mr. And this is not the parade, but I'm sure he for veterans. Fort Jackson's own 28th United States Army Band. They're going to be be performing this Friday, October 13th at 6 p.m. I'm gonna be watching my Jackets play. I'm just gonna keep it real with you. My spirit will be there, but my body gonna be in King Street watching my Jackets. Put something on them whatever Blazers or whatever they call themselves
They're the Blazers now.
at this point right here. But yeah, so if you are in the Georgetown, no, this is gonna Georgetown. Yeah, I said it right. The Fort Jackson band is gonna be this Friday, October 13th. Man, that'd be great to be there too. Winyard Auditorium, and this is at 1200 High Market Street in Georgetown. This is a free event, free admission. Donations are accepted, however. For more information, please contact Commissioner Rutledge. I think I met Mr. Rutledge.
Commander Rutledge, yeah.
Yes, Commander Rutledge at 843-527-6555 or for any questions. Again, that's going to be it's going to be Fort Jackson Zone 28th United States Army Band, 282nd. 282nd. I'm
That's different from the Navy now.
There you go. All this.
These are Army acronyms and numbers and unit IDs. I know exactly what you're trying to say.
Okay. All right. 282nd United States Army Band is going to be in Georgetown this Friday at 6 p.m. at the Winyard Auditorium. This is a free admission event. So please, y'all go out. Again, if for contact Commander Rutledge at 843-527-6555 for any questions. Again, shout out to Mr. Bennett. Mr. Bennett, please inbox me that information about the parade. I should have had that up. He handed it to me in a flyer. Mr. Bennett, old school. You know what I mean? I've been looking at the paper like, what was I supposed to do with this? You just send that to my phone.
That's my guy, man.
Yeah. And I mean, he's a hardworking veteran for veterans, and I salute him definitely. All right. So you awarded the key to the city to Jamar. Hey man, I was impressed with his performance, man. That was he did a great job. You know, had a little technical hiccup with the I think somebody kicked the cord or something.
Yeah.
And they kept it going like right through that. And him, and shout out to my cousin Tremaine, my cousin Akeem, and what's the young lady's name? I know her. Jessica, Miss Jessica. They all did great job, man. I mean, they look good up there. You know what I mean? It was
like they've been doing this for a while, and I think it was an audition of some sort because he didn't travel with his entire band, and man, they were excellent. But we all know that they can sing, but to bring it together as they did was awesome. And so again, any success to this level. And not just that this young man there, that's Miss Muvana right there. She did a great job too performing.
Yes, she did. Yeah.
And she's got that song that's not Andrews. Now I don't, I love all my folk out there. My dad lived in Big Dam, so I can't sing that out loud. I can't sing that out loud. But very, very very cool song, and these guys live in the flesh, entertainment. As always, bringing it. They've been featured band, I think, for the last 3 years, and so they're becoming extremely popular and tough to book. But back to Jamar Langley, when he came, I mean, everyone was asking all day, when is he coming on? Which again is great because you get support from your hometown. It inspired.
Hey, yeah, and I mean he was moved by that, guys. I'm like, look at my city. We was that the cell phones out there. It was electric.
It was electric. And even when you mentioned the technical piece he had going on there, he sung through that. They were just when you have a voice like his and Jamal and Jamar and all those guys, Akeem, you can sing a cappella and still rock the place.
Yeah, he rocked that the Star Spangled Banner, the homecoming night too.
Listen, that was one of the best I've heard. And so it was just all around. And so how can you not have fun and enjoy that kind of stuff, man, and fellowship with your classmates and tell lies about how well we played back in the day and who was the star football players and cheerleaders. This is a great time. And we still argue about the 82 year, and so that's what this thing is all about. And it's important that we keep it going, keep it safe. And I'm just very proud of everybody involved in it. So
That's what's up, man. Man, I guess we got to go into the politics now a little bit. You know what I mean? Before we get out of here, I noticed something this weekend. I don't know if anybody else noticed. Maybe you can shed some light on this, but I noticed a change in the sign you see behind me. I noticed that the yellow jacket has been covered up, and on some of your signs, on most of your signs, all your signs, and it's got reelect on it. Was there a specific reason why you did that?
Yes, and I won't get into the details of it now because I think it's something that's going to have to be discussed later. But I complied with a concern that was expressed to me, and it was very simple. So we but again, when things are said and done, we'll be back at the table to have a further discussion. But I don't, I'm the type guy. I'm not going to kick up noise just because it's a simple adjustment that I've made. I think there's probably some out there I still got to get to. It cost me a little bit more money, but I made it happen, and it deserves further conversation. Not right now. I got to focus on running the town, or managing the town, and also with the re-election to get back in here to make sure people understand not just things like the festival, but other things that are going on that if you don't see it, you don't believe it. But I just got to help them understand what's happening across the board and not get tied up in trivial things.
Yeah,
So that
and that's where I've been accused of stirring up. Apparently, I'm some kind of chef, some kind of stir fry chef or whatever. But because I want to apologize to you because apparently when I say stuff to people online or I say stuff about people, it comes back to you somehow as if
well,
but
I don't want to interrupt you on that.
Go ahead.
Let me say this. You have been in this business long before, as I think you stated 2 years ago, you started to focus on the political, on just the things that happen in town, and it all becomes politics. So when the work that you do is what you do, when I'm not, I won't be a part of a conversation. You respect that, but you have a brand and you have been doing this for a long time. You have expanded that brand because you have a platform that tells the story for our young kids. So no one wants to recognize that kind of stuff that's going on. No one wants to hear the truth about how things are moving with the town, or just hear the facts. I credit you again for reading and bringing things to the forefront, because a lot of times people are getting misinformation, whether it's deliberate or just not doing the due diligence to learn. But yeah, no, you don't have to apologize because you're a grown man and I'm a grown man. And so we work for this community in our own respective ways. And a lot of what we do right now is a joint effort. And I appreciate that. And we're going to continue to work together. And people just need to understand that there's some tough things to talk about, and they're going to come to you or them or whomever in different forms and format. And I mean, it comes from other sources as well. But if it's not that meet certain people's agenda, then it becomes a problem.
Yeah, and then because the last thing, the latest thing I mentioned about the whole situation with the booster club and the 30%, and oh, I was told I don't know what I'm talking about, I don't know this, I don't know that, I just want to start trouble, and I'm still waiting for them to address it publicly. um I'm waiting for them to go ahead and um like, if I'm lying, let's go ahead and make it legal if you want to, and so we can start pulling out documents and start tracking this down. Because it's I don't mind being called that. I don't mind being called that, because if that's what it is, then that's what it is. But um you,
And I respect your platform, just like the same level. It's not as we do with whether it's Fox News, CNN. It's wherever you are comfortable getting your information and accurate information on those platforms. Not everything they say is okay with me, either one of them. But I go to those places and I listen, because you need to hear what the other side, especially in the business I'm in, and then you
yep,
need to do your own homework to verify.
yes,
So in God we trust. Everybody else, you fact check them,
yep, yep,
and you go out and do your due diligence, and you'll learn what the truth is. But to say, for me to say Fox News is a bad place and all bad things come out, that'd be an incorrect statement. That would be in my opinion, because it doesn't fit my agenda. If
hmm
the same
hmm
thing with
hmm
CNN or even that new station. So at your level, you're going to have a variety of topics. It ain't just about politics or supporting Frank McClary.
and I'll say this right now: I don't choose black over fact.
Right. Well,
and
yeah,
and I would hope people don't choose white over right. Let's look at the truth and what it is, and let's move on that.
that's
You
that,
know,
and that's why I appreciate that, and your taking on those hard topics, and again, some of them I will comment on, others I choose not to, because it may not be appropriate for me to make a comment, or to have or have a public opinion. Um, and but again, when you're in the news, when you're a news agency, you're gonna talk about things that makes us, especially like politicians and
mm,
leaders of other organizations. You're going to be uncomfortable,
yep,
because not everything we do is going to be pleasing to someone else. But if we do it with the intent of uh, providing for the community as a whole, then you have to know that you're doing what's right, and that's what I always try to do. And again, I know you're going to see from some of the comments that no, not everybody is okay with it. But again, you search my heart and my efforts, and you're going to know it is the benefit of the town, and it'll have a different impact on people because of your individual status, if you will. You may not be financially here to absorb what has been decided on. That's for the best of the town, and then we'll work around that. We'll work with you. But I I'm not going to get wrapped around 10,000 opinion. I just got to follow the law and follow the policies, and pray for the best outcome for the city.
and so and I like, there has been a number of, I'll say two, that's not exaggerated, of these trolling pages, right, where they hide behind a avatar and attack, just do whatever they do. Um and the latest one, the first one was that page lubricant, and then last week that page went down right after we got off the air, mysteriously, right after the, the two people that came over talking about it, right after they started talking about it, the page yeah.
Well, it comes it again. I'm not going to give it any energy. On either case, it's that we got to stay focused on what's important, and know that there's folks out there that do that. Happens at the national level. I've been in this business long enough to know that I am going to have people that does not appreciate, like, whatever the case may be, and if I spend a whole lot of time um, trying to argue those things, then I'm not doing the business of the town. And so God bless them, and that's all I'll say to them. And we just got to stay focused. You don't win battles with folks that just want to throw things out there and get your attention. Because when you do that, then you're losing focus on those who really need your undivided attention to help make things better. That's just the way I see it.
Yeah, it's a coward way to do things. To and that's my opinion. And I think it's again, the strategy last week was to, because right before I came on the air, I got a friend request, and I guess, okay, if I accepted that friend request, then I would be associated with, whatever went on with that page, and they were bashing your opponent, and I figured I knew where it came from. Okay, and so
Well,
I did. Go ahead.
and what's interesting is that it's all traceable.
It's all
So
traceable.
quiet as it's kept, I know exactly who it is, and I'll leave it at that.
Okay, and so and then here comes another page, right?
Hmm.
That just popped up, and we know who that is also. Um, like, so for all of you trolls, right? Let me put you up on some game. That blue check, I carry that for a reason. Okay, so when you trolling me, understand I'm in the blue check mafia. Just know that, and we okay. So
And,
um,
and again, these things are again traceable.
look at this one. Look at this. Here's that page, right? And look at the two leaders, the two town leaders, the first two town leaders on this page, and I mean that page is filled with garbage. There's Mark Stump, Pastor Mark Stump, I guess I should say that, and there's County Councilman Everett. I mean, dang Everett, I'm sorry. Let me give you a bomb. E. I'll be back on you in a little bit. Don't even worry about it. But you got County Councilman Raymond Newton, and this page again. We know who it is. We know what they're doing. Um, that's the level of leadership that this man. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm a podcaster and I'm smart enough not to uh be linked to a page that's bashing your opponent, who politically I have no use for. Personally, I don't know him enough to have an opinion on him, but I do have enough sense politically not to be tied to this kind of garbage right here. So um then I noticed that once I blocked this person today, um then it popped up on, and here's some more of the followers here. So you guys, when you go to these pages, at least ask the people to hide the friends list. Okay, you don't like, just like, act act like you're joining the clan. Okay, and you don't want everybody to know. I'm just gonna say it. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna keep it up a buck. Because it's cool when they do it, but it's a problem when I do it. So, the troll accounts, um, again, and man, like,
Well, we can't. We have. We. I can't. I can't be distracted. We've got a lot of great things in store, man. If we for the town, that is time sensitive. Again, as I spoke about the $10 million that we have to get contracted and get those things moving. We just got a notice to proceed with those today from the state and federal level, and so we got a lot of great things going on. So if I get tied up into these kind of things at this time, we're going to miss some important dates that's going to cause us to lose funds. It's that serious with these 7 million that we got through the skip grant. And so that's what I'm excited about. I don't get lost in the sauce on other things. This is a business we're running, and we can't be distracted. It's no different than how I focus when I'm in combat. You lose sight of the.
So you're not up at 12:46 commenting on Facebook posts?
I'm up at 12:46 a lot of times, but generally it's trying to figure out what's the next thing, or getting us set for the next day, or
No, I mean you're not on. You don't comment on something I may post on there or something. One of your opponents.
Not generally. And listen, I was once called Facebook Frank, because I it's a useful tool if you do it right. And I spend time on Facebook. I spend time on Instagram now. Is it Instagram? TikTok, one of those things. I don't know. I'm an old head, man. And so but it's again, they're great tools if it's used to, for good. And so yes, I'm up. I don't sleep much. I'm always constantly thinking about how do we make things better. And so but that's a part of my whole leadership regime anyway. That's how I served when I was in the military. So I'm up and getting at it. That's the only way you stay ahead of what's happening around here, man, because it moves real quick. It's a time-consuming job.
So so you said that you guys gotta go ahead and move forward on the funds. So that means that you can start now putting out bid or start receiving bids, not putting out bids.
Well, and I'm not the expert in the process. I do know it's a very, very tedious process. There's some very critical steps along the way. So you get awarded the funds, and then you get all of the training. We went through a whole bunch of training on how to manage this things and how reporting requirements back to the state. And in this case of the SCIP grant, we got some federal reporting requirements as well. Federal dollars and are very, very sensitive, for lack of a better terms, in terms of reporting. If you miss a reporting, all that money could be taken back. And so we just got the notice.
And so when you say taken back, because you never actually received the money,
we don't receive it.
Physically receive it.
No.
Okay.
The management is that once they get all of the administrative stuff is done and in line, and you get it contracted, once the job, and a portion of that the town has to pay as well, to your engineering fees and that kind of business. But once the contract is let and the work begins, they submit an invoice. We take that invoice, send that to whether it's the state or federal folks. Then they send that exact amount of money down through to an account for that particular project that pays the contractor for that body of work. No, we don't get that's been played out many years ago, because again, as some tell it, the money was abused. You don't get a chance to do that now. If you even try to do that, there's going to be a lot, it's going to be a lot of problems. So no, we don't get to do that. Nobody does.
Gotcha.
But those things will address Morgan Avenue. They will address upgrading, modernizing the water meters and sensors and those kind of things. Again, to give us more efficiency and a lot faster in terms of getting that thing turned around, as opposed to the antiquated system we have now. And some other much needed water and sewer upgrades, and to include Park Avenue, Magnolia. Those are the critical areas in the town right now with respect to the sewer. Mm-hmm. And of course, beach is ongoing. I think they have probably less than 45 days to complete that project. And once that is done, then beach all the connections will be done. And that's the connections back to connect the taps to the residents, and then that road will be paved and back in operation. But right now, it's still under the contractor's control.
And so that'll, again, you just said it'll be paved once that's done. And you said they're right at about 45 days out.
Yeah, that's my best estimate right now, because it again, as part of the contracting process, these guys have to have ample time, obviously, to make it happen. This was a 245-day time limit on this. And so they have to, otherwise we'll have to look at, if there's an adjustment based on lack of performance, then there's measures to take to ensure that we recoup those funds. There's a penalty if they don't meet the obligations of the contract.
Mm.
And so that's managing that very, very closely. And I think they'll meet the deadline. I hope it'll be a little faster than that, but it is what it is right now.
That's what it is, man. Again, we are in with the mayor of Andrews, South Carolina. Guys, get your questions in there. I see. Let's read this right here. Ms. Luana says, one of the problems we have with the Yellow Jacket Booster Club is the lack of participation from our community. I've tried to get more people involved. If you come to the meetings, you will know what is going on. Join the Booster Club. And I do agree with that 100%. And Mr. Nick Skipper, I saw that you sent me the invitation, and I do appreciate that. And I will comply, and I will fill that out and do that. But what she's saying is very, very important. I mean, for a long time, we have not. And when I say we have not, I'm talking a lot of parents, okay? A lot of parents who may even think that I need to be in a certain socioeconomic class to be in that group or whatever. No, pay the fee. There's a great deal with the Black and Gold Club Pass. Like you get access to all of the varsity home games, all sports, volleyball, baseball, basketball, and I think it's about $200, and that's for 2 passes. So if you do the math on that, and we really need to flood that thing. So I'm going to be sending that application out, and I would like to challenge other people to join with me so that we can be there, because they invited me there. I don't think they want me there, really, but since they invited, I'm going to take the opportunity. Thank you. And then we can talk about other stuff too. Yeah. So are you a member of the Booster Club, sir?
No, I'm not. As you know, we have I have a nonprofit organization that focuses on the Andrews High School alumni, and so a lot of what you see happening with those things that the football teams received is the work that we put in, and so and it's just trying to help close the gap on the expenses that requires to manage the team. As a young man coming up through high school, I didn't realize we never noticed that there was a shortage in funds for uniforms and those kind of things. But fast forward, when I see like the track and field team, are getting don't have. I think that now the uniforms are better now, but I know when my nephew was running and things of that nature, these guys were always short of equipment. Some of the least popular sports don't necessarily get the funds, and I would be interested in to knowing how is it distributed, how is it funded, and how are these different sports, because now we
for the
have,
sake of transparency, I think it'll be great.
and so I'd be interested in that. And again, we're not trying to compete, we just want to help. And so as you look at the efforts that went into getting the tunnel, the mascot, and the 2 statues or sculptures, a lot of people stepped up and pitched in, and so we're just trying to help. But I am not a member of the Booster Club, and I think I'm just going to give someone else a chance to be a leader in that organization. And again, so I can't speak to. I don't know the bylaws. I don't know how it's functioned, so it wouldn't be fair for me to have an opinion. All I know is that in any organization, as long as you have those things that is a fair distribution of the resources, however that is, I think you'll be in good standing. So, and I think that was some of the concern. I don't know enough about it, and I know there's some great people in the Booster Club. You see Miss Luann there, and Miss Skipper, and my all-time favorite is Mr. Arthur Smith. So I don't know any other members, but we do have some upstanding people that are in there. It's just I don't know how it's managed.
Okay, Ms. Luana says, I would love to see the alumni and booster club and the school work together to make it happen. Come to the meeting, Mayor, and you can get the answer. So,
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. I'd love to be involved. As people know, some of them think I'm too involved. But how do you manage and help and assist when you don't know? So I'll accept your invitation and I'll be there.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Which
it's important. Anything we can do to make it, as adults, we don't have to minimize the friction so we can help our children and not let them see grown folks fighting on
I
Facebook.
think, I mean, minimizing the I'm with you on that. Minimizing the friction. I get it, but there shouldn't. When it comes to them kids and what we doing, there shouldn't be no friction. Like
Yeah.
Any perception is reality. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
um, we're in a political, a tense political environment. Okay, and so I'm sensitive to that. And then the explanation that I was given as to this whole 30% thing was just was ridiculous. You know what I mean? And I think um, that's a problem when somebody think that they can give you some ridiculous answer and uh, you know, and then it's just no, just be transparent, and then that makes all that other stuff go away.
I don't disagree with you on that.
Yeah. I've recently become active and I don't know all the answers. What I've seen is that the money is raised and distributed fairly. Okay. Lots of people assume a lot, but let's come and ask questions, which is right. It's all about the students, athletes. They represent 30%. 30%. Let's see where we at. Thomas Briggs. Thomas, what do you? Let me. I had to read your stuff. I put it up. Let me read this first. Thomas will go hard on him a little bit too. Parents. Oh yeah. Okay. All right, Thomas, cut it out now because you wasn't there. 30%. But I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna put it up. 30% was parents of the golf team who raised the money and donate the money to golf team. Don't know how that worked. We'll figure it out. That's why Ms. Luana's saying we got to go to these meetings, and I agree with her 100%. So if you feel as strongly as you do, So again, Mr. Skipper, I appreciate it. I am going to join. Okay. Thank you very much for the invitation.
When is when are they
When is
meeting?
yeah? When is the next time that they have open, or is it just we can join at any time? When is that open again, Miss Luana? We put the applications in now, and then when that comes back around, and then we. I was at that meeting. Do, do, do. No, I'm talking about. I was saying Thomas wasn't at the meeting. Sitting here talking about some 30% of the parents or something. Where Thomas getting his information from. All right, the next meeting is November 13, if I am not mistaken. So we'll double check on that, Miss Luana. And all right, Thomas says he got a question. He said he's asking for a friend, which means it's not going to be good. If you were a 501c3 nonprofit, is it against the law to make a profit, then turn the profit over to somebody else who is for profit? You going that's above my pay grade, Thomas. That is above my pay grade there. I don't it
That was pretty deep.
yeah.
Very complex question, there, Ms. Thomas. So I'd have to defer him to an attorney.
Yeah. So we'll get an attorney on, and then I'll save that question in, and we'll get that up there. But I'm gonna say good question because I'm confused by it. But
I understood his question, and it sounds like it's the old, for lack of a better term, flipping flipping houses. So
it sounds like the Murdochs. Sounds like something the Murdochs. Let me stop. Let me stop.
yeah,
Oh no, Bob. That was in bad taste right there. That was in bad taste right
yeah, Mr. Roderick says against the law.
there. That's kind of how, you know what I mean. Once they start getting in all that stuff there, I know it's some legal stuff going on in it. When he start talking about, make a profit, turn a profit. Hold on now. That's a little bit right there. But listen, hey Mayor, I'm not gonna hold you on there too much, man, too much longer. Is there anything you want to get out to the people? Any last words? I know hold on, wait, before you do that, let's do this.
Mayor Frank McClary, a man on a mission, who understood the assignment: town budget, fiscal responsibility, town infrastructure, tackling neglected projects, town independence, making sure its citizens have the final say, town growth, paving the way for future investments. Re-elect Mayor Frank McClary to continue the mission of serving in the best interest of all the people of Andrews.
Oh man, I appreciate that. Of course, yes, that the race continues, and again, it's the reason for a lot of these little the tension that we have around town. But I want people to please just settle down, let us run this race and run it as professionally as we can. And again, because when we don't, we hurt the town. Really, we do. I know certainly my team is out aggressively speaking to those who may have questions about certain things, whether it's the road, ditches, and a lot. What I'm finding is that they just don't know. And I'll say this a brief. Often I'm brought into conversations about law enforcement or things that the judge and decisions they make. That's people understand there's a separation between these different. What I do as elected official myself in the council, law enforcement. So we're the lawmakers. You got law enforcement, which again is chief and his team, and then in the judicial side of that, obviously that is Judge Hodge, who handles those things. And so for me I was accused of in the department for the last 3 years of covering up an accident. We didn't report it right. So so I had an opportunity to meet with a gentleman on Monday, and after looking at his accident report, he in fact had everything that he needed to move forward with, claims and those kind of thing. And if necessary, he could sue them if he didn't get what he, compensated for the injuries and those kind of thing. And it was a simple fact that didn't understand what was in his hand and thought that I can influence that. If I do that, I take the law enforcement thing out of the chief's hand. That's obstruction of justice, and that's not going to fly. When there's an officer makes an arrest, he becomes now the government who prosecutes that case, whether it's a traffic ticket or anything else. And technically, the chief can't change that unless there's something, legally, the officers who, if it's a lack of experience, and it's not right, he can certainly get in there and say, okay, now we're not going to move this forward because you didn't do X, Y, Z. But other than that officer is responsible for prosecuting that case. Anytime when I get these calls, hey, Mayor, I got a ticket in this, I said, you got to go see the officer who served the ticket. And I think in most cases they're reasonable. They go there not demanding things. The officers will work with them. But for me to get involved and influence that's undue command and influence. Same thing, we have in the military. It's just not. You can't do that. I can't do that. And so I say that to say that there's a lot of opinions and things of what should be happening, not happening, without being properly informed. So I ask people to, go ahead and pick up, let's spend some time Googling, stay on Facebook a little bit and see what it is. And we will always spend the time to try to help you understand that. And so that's kind of where we are. I want to talk, as we go through this campaign, and again, as we realize that people just don't know, and hopefully it's because they're too busy. But we're going to give them the opportunity to come out and look at our the Andrews Master Plan, which includes the revitalization of Main Street. I see some efforts ongoing right now, but they need to really take a look at the plan. We don't want to waste resources. We want to, leverage everything that we can get from the community, what we get through grants and those things, so we can make it have a plan to revitalize, not a plan, an execution, the execution piece, that it's all synchronized and done with, with community involvement. But if someone goes out and do something that we're going to have to move or not accept as a part of the overall plan, that would just be a waste of resources. So that plan is in place. So I hear a lot of chatter about, revitalizing Main Street. There's a plan. We spent $20,000 to, for Moldro and Arnett, company design, out of company out of Greenville, to do this work. You just have to see and accept it, that it's there. It's not something. It's not fiction. It's there. And so we're gonna put these things out so they can see that once again. And it wasn't done in a vacuum, as you know. This plan was done and try to get as much of the community involved as all. So that Main Street project is there. Mm-hmm. It's going to address the entire Main Street. In fact, and what they learned through the study they did for the 8 months is that Andrews have the longest Main Street, and in some cases, we'd argue that we have two Main Streets when we look at Morgan and 521. Mm-hmm. Not many small towns have that, and it's very expensive now to cover that entire stretch. So it's going to have to be a phased plan, and then a part of that plan as well is to connect Andrews, physically connect Andrews to the Black River. So when this new state park is in place, which is already in progress, then our folks can either ride, bike, walk, or drive to these different parks along the stretch of the Black River. That plan is in place. Nobody has to guess, and it drives economic opportunities. So you talked a little bit about what this large, massive crowd that the homecoming and the festival brings. Well, I'm sure those people needed some place to sleep, and not everybody can fall in on in the bed at their relative's house. So that drives a need for more hotels. Makes us more competitive now for accommodation taxes that is collected, and we can apply for through the county. Mm-hmm. So it's about putting heads in beds on that.
We need us a motel called the Andrews. They got one called the Georgetown, huh?
I think so.
The George or something. We call it the And.
And again, there's another opportunity for someone to become an owner of a hotel.
Multiple need an investment group. Form.
So all these things I'm hearing that these big ideas that people are talking about they're going to do, it's there. We just now get the funding. As I told you before, I sat in last week with the board for the South Carolina State Conservative Bank, Conservation Bank, I should say, mm-hmm. And they gave OSI $5.8 million to develop the track along Black River that is connected to Andrews. So there's money. These things are in place. These things are working now. They just now have to be resourced and put in place. So there's nothing new that I've heard from whether it's from my opposition or some of the younger uninformed candidates that are coming in. We just ask you to stop and take a look at it. If you got new ideas, go ahead and put them out there, but don't discount.
There you go. Don't discount the work that's already been done. Look at that. Yeah. So
because it's misleading and kind of deceiving to the people. And again, I understand it's politics, but I ask the people that stop and take a look at what's there. Spend some time on that so we can focus on that. If there's any other good ideas, then that's fine. We welcome that. But don't discount the hard work, the $18 million of grant money that we've now was awarded over the last 8 years. Don't discount the over 25 businesses that has come to town that's actually employing our people. Don't discount that.
I see where Little Caesars be here spring 2024.
Yeah, shout out to the owners, Mr. Sonny, and I think it was Kendall that came in. They were at the festival, and they came and talked to the folks. Little Caesars is there. It's coming, and among other things. But these guys are very aggressive businessmen. They understand the process, which is very helpful as they work with us to to synchronize their efforts. And so it's happening. It is happening. It's not happening fast enough for some, but it's a little troubling when we speak about like West Andrews. West Andrews, you know, everything is owned by somebody. The thing that in the common area, which is the park, we spend a lot of time out there to keep that park. And again, that's not an Andrews Park. That is a private, but it's in and it's been known to be the town's property, but it's not. It's private property, but we keep it clean. That sidewalk from Shaw's Corner down to Elmwood for more than a decade could not see it. Trees overgrown. I'm gonna share some pictures with you. Last summer or summer before last, myself and members from the Public Works cleared that entire thing, and we spent all day and cleared that. Now the kids have a path to walk as opposed to in the street. It's not
Hey, you reminded me of something.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
we need to
Um,
talk about that.
yeah, I got a letter from a parent. Hey, I got a letter from a parent of a child that goes to school in Andrews,
Mhm.
and the letter was from the school district, and it was informing them that on October 16th that the buses will no longer be picking up kids, and I think if I remember it, um, from the trailer park on Myrtle down there on Myrtle by the old Rosemary, Short Street, Privet Street, and I think just on Jones Avenue in general. So the children from Jones Avenue going to have to walk to school. And from the house where I got that letter is now, um, and I got to go to the district page and see if I can find that. But the letter that I got, it quoted a state law saying that the schools were not required to provide transportation if you live within 1.5 miles of the school. Now, technically, where that house is, they are 1.6 miles, so they would fall in the range where they should, qualify to have buses pick them up. Um, you're talking about that same area. That area is not only is this happening in the middle of the year, it's happening right when the seasons changing. Um, and I think that's going to be a problem. Any thoughts on that? And I'm looking up this the school district website right now to pull up this document. So, but any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I have a lot of concern, and you and I spoke briefly about. I didn't see it. I haven't read the letter yet, but just off the top, it concerns me because, as I was mentioning, that sidewalk is clear. But the thing it seemed a little bit late in the game for this to be dropped on parents to make this adjustment, and this is supposed to go into effect on the 16th, if I'm correct.
Yes.
So we're talking about now, and I don't know. And again, I'll be very careful on my comments, on my opinion, because I haven't seen it. But when I think about that, just generally speaking, we're talking about kids from what age? Are we talking high school, middle school? Because
Eh, Yeah,
I,
this young the parent of this young lady, I know she's at Rosemary.
well, of course, so then if it's Rosemary, then it certainly is going to impact Andrews High. It's a challenge already. We're talking about if kids coming from Jones Avenue, all those areas you're talking about is from West Andrews. And so now that path crossing MLK, high speed avenue approach,
Mhm.
a busy road, in other words, get away from military term. And then you cross there and you walk along the path I was talking about that we cleared. And then you get to passing Elmwood, that sidewalk stops there at,
Yep.
and then they have to cross over the street to the other part
Mhm.
of the sidewalk that is not clear. Then we have a one crossing guard. There's no markings. That is on the curve of 521, which is, we all know, that is Indy 500. And so
Mhm.
now all of this traffic, foot traffic, these kids, and it really concerns me, especially now the season, the time is changing. It's going to be dark, and the time for them to get to the school, this whole adjustment. So I'm not so sure how. And again, I don't want to pass judgment on the district and the leadership there. Um, but for us to be hearing about it right now, and it makes me concerned that this is too short of a notice to make this major adjustment that involved the safety of the children. And which means that if you're gonna if you got elementary school or middle school kids crossing those two major highways, they're gonna have to now put crossing guards, crossing signs. And if you may have remembered me talking about the the concerns along Gateway Road near the elementary school, where we don't have designated crossings, where we have an apartment complex with a lot of young kids going to school, Rosemary Elementary. It is busy. That's another busy highway. So it really concerns me. I sent a letter up in 2018 to address that with the state, with the the South Carolina Department of Transportation. They did put in some, reducing the speed limit, no lights, and still no designated crossing for the kids, and that is problematic for me. And so we'll have to reach out to the district and see exactly what's going on, um, and so we can make sense of what's happening, and hope preferably they have thought through this thing, and we're just kind of speaking blindly.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't have that document right now, and I'm on the website and I'm looking for it. So let's see what I can find here. Bus routes. All right. Yeah, I don't see anything. Let's see. Andrews bus routes, AM routes. What is this? All right. Well, this is just a schedule of the stops here. So that is going to be Powell, Andrews Elementary, Jones. This is over here, Mango Street, Laurie Street. This is all of that area that I'm telling you about now.
Hmm.
Um, and I think it's bus number three, bus number 508-279. So that all of that. Here, let me pull this up the screen so I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, I would like for somebody. I'm going to do some more research on that, and so I can give the parents more research on that. But I mean, technically, you got 6 days, and you gotta have to make this adjustment. So you're talking about um, more traffic, because everybody's not going to let their kid take that walk every day. So you're talking about more traffic at the school. Let's see. Um, all right, let's pull this up. And this is not that document that I'm talking about, but this is the area that's going to be affected, and this is from the transportation section of the um, Georgetown County District website. All right, let me move this off for a second. And there is what we're looking at is here we go. Oh, no, that's not it. Okay. There it is. The Rosemary Middle, Jones, Pine Street. So all of these buses are gonna go away. Again, I need to I don't know that for sure. So let me reach out to them, or maybe somebody can, because I mean again, that's a good question. Will this be for will primary kids still? Is there an age limit to? Let's see. Maybe I can find that law
I
that
think,
they quoted.
and I think equally important is that what other communities are affected by this?
Yeah, that's
What is this? Did you have, you said the regulation? Because
yeah, that's what I'm. Let's see.
while I'm in this undisclosed location, I can do some research.
Let's see. Oh my goodness, they ain't gonna eat that one up. SC, SC.
I would hope there was a better use of their times, but
Oh no, sending me long messages that I don't read. Like I'm telling them, send a donation and I read it. School transfer.
hey, I know you mentioned all these activities you're doing, and then you mentioned all these activities. You didn't talk about the greatest school, in the universe. Homecoming is coming up, so
Oh, Andrew's already had our homecoming.
yeah, that's on that level. I'm talking about being in college. Yeah, I know. And what's funny is that I'm just understanding that they refer to these things now as the Andrews High School University.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, it was a big event. I was like, yeah, which it's cool, man. Whatever drives spirit and enthusiasm to support the school and the kids. And it's all good and clean. Let's go with it. So I like that.
All right. Let's see. Code transportation for pupils. Title 59. Let's see if this is what we're looking at. And what I'm looking for is South Carolina Board of Education by enforce regulations and school buses, transportation, children when owned and operated. Let's see, what are the requirements? All right, it is the South Carolina school transportation required. So like I said, they had this 1/10 of a mile, or I remember reading that if you live a mile outside of a mile and a half, then by law they were supposed to provide you with transportation. What we got here? Students. July 1st, 2000, transportation, primary, secondary school.
But the thing is, too, again, an adjustment like that requires a lot of coordination and time for parents and the school itself, to adjust. So hopefully, um, that level of thought.
It sounds like somebody's covering their butt. That's what it sounds like for them to make this move. And again, I don't know. It's just this seems an extreme move to be making in the middle of the year. You know what I mean? Like now parents are gonna have to adjust. Let's see, is the new regulations or new don't care about the students. Man, I wish I had that document here that I could quote them
Yeah,
laws.
that's important, and I'd be happy. And again, I'll yeah, it impacts everything really,
Yeah.
across the board. A lot of things, I should say. Again, when we're speaking just
I
in.
mean, if a parent don't have a car, okay, or if a parent got to be at work at 5 o'clock in the morning, all of a sudden now they dropping this on their employer, and the employer like, hey, I don't know what to do. Maybe we're gonna have to take you off the schedule, and you know what I mean. That is that is a lot. In 2 weeks, you know what I mean, and you
Well,
already moving this far in the school year, you know.
Well, and again, I would think something like that, this significant adjustment in transportation for the kids would have been a public forum or something other than just a letter. Again, I'm speaking blindly, um, and I don't have a kid in junior high or high school, so I'm not. It does give concern. So perfectly, we're ahead of the process on this thing. Hopefully, I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, it's 6 days away, and again, guys, I'll have more information on that tomorrow.
It's got to be a parent that's out there in the listening land that
That
who
that
who's received
yeah, somebody,
this
some parent
information.
from, because again, it's affecting from uh the trailer park on Myrtle over there, Short Street, Privet, um, Butternut, basically the whole, right over there on West Andrews. Excuse me, over on the west side.
And the last thing, I mean, not last thing, but then I want to make sure because not everything. I don't want to mislead folks as thinking everything is perfect. Uh, of course, we've got the readings of the meters are done. We just got to get those mail. Hopefully, probably we get them in the mail this week. Um, and it'll well, again, still working diligently trying to get that back. It's not where I wanted to be in terms of the back on schedule, like I talked about. But again, I'd rather be delayed than go out and be extremely wrong. So a bit of shell shock. I'll admit that again from our experience, and we want to make sure it's right. Will we get it 100%? I'm sure there'll be something that we'll have to adjust, and we'll continue to work that and we get the system back on track. So appreciate the patience. People are still coming in and paying. Just know that you know the service will continue, and we will charge at the appropriate time and work with you as we strive to get this thing back on track. A big shout out.
No more surprise $400 water bills, all right?
Well, it should have been a surprise in the first place. Let's just be realistic about what we're doing because those funds. Again, the service continued. These funds are necessary because it pays people's salary and it's for equipment to keep the system functioning properly. So, I yeah, those there's no free services anywhere. But we have done the best we can to minimize the impact. And I'd hope that will be appreciated as we move forward. But we have to get those revenues to keep the system flowing. And we're not, and again, we that's the only thing that we have any, having to raise taxes on. Not now. I'm just being generally speaking.
Mhm.
So it's necessary. I mean, and some may, some may think it's harsh, but it's not. It's as fair as we could possibly be, and it requires a lot of work. And I wish it was finished, back on track, 6 months ago. It's just that we got to take some time, and we'll get there. I'm confident in that. We've got some smart people in place, and they are working extremely hard to do that. So I wanted to mention that because everybody, oh, you talk about all the good things. Well, what about this? In terms of again, shout out to the chief. We just hired a new cadet, and so that department is growing. You saw them out there doing the festival, and again, as you mentioned, the relationships with other departments are working out fine. It's going to help us close the gap until we get back full staff. So a lot of hard work by a small team, and I think making a big difference. And I wouldn't trade these men and women for anything. So we're gonna keep plugging away.
All right, all right. I appreciate you, sir. Once again, man. Again, kudos to your staff. Uh, you know, and to the citizens and to the because it was a group effort of making this past weekend a success, and it was. I mean, it was the year before it was good. So it's a building thing, and I'm glad it's something that we have as a community, and that we can definitely rally around. Because that's one of the things I did. I used to work a lot of festivals. I mean, from the Chitlin Strut to the Dogwood Festival to the Pecan Festival to I worked a lot of festivals over South Carolina,
Good.
and
I, I
and go ahead.
yeah, and listen, and I'm going to enjoy it as well. I know someone said something about me dance. I love to dance. It's I love to have fun. I like to interact with the people on the ground and talk and get to know them. That's I've always been that way. All of a sudden, this festival, it was someone had an issue with it. Look, loosen up, come on out.
They had a problem with you dancing.
Yeah, it was.
Hey, I was trying to get DJ Dynamite attention to play that Atomic Dog. I said, yeah, he won't be able to resist on that stage. Those blue lights up there.
I'm glad he didn't. I'm glad he didn't, man. Because yeah, that you know how that goes.
Yeah,
It's a lot of fire shut up in the bones. So they had to set out a hop or something, you know. For
hey, man,
we had quite a few Omegas in the group, so I wouldn't have been by myself. But it's all fun. It's all
listen, man.
decent fun.
This is from the Welcome Neighbors podcast. Let me take over this part right here. If you got a problem with having fun, then that's just you. I mean, I ain't gonna even be vulgar or nothing tonight. Just loosen up, man.
We have a beautiful community, man. Just loosen up and let's come together. That's all it takes. Put all this craziness aside, and this, that's really what it is. And it's going to take each one of us to do that. Meantime, we're going to continue to provide you the opportunity to come out and be a part of it, this growth, and to see this master plan come to life. And so that's going to happen. We invite you out. Meeting on the 19th. 6 o'clock, town council meeting, and we encourage you to come on out and hear what's going on. So
there it is, guys. Mayor Frank McClary. I know they wanted me to talk about a few more things tonight, but I don't have time for y'all foolishness tonight, man. We got work. A lot of work still need to be done. It's just keeping it going. So again, sir, I appreciate your time. Look forward to doing this again. And see you Friday at the game.
Yeah, King Street, big game. I will tell you what I think it's going to be in terms of it's their homecoming.
We gonna win the game. I mean, they gonna have a good time. They gonna party and all that, but we gonna win the game, all right? And
I'm with you. I think it's gonna be one of our best games.
What Movano say? That's not Andrews.
Not King Street's not Andrews. Huh?
You see, hey, listen, the house is divided this weekend right here over here because I got a King Street alumni here, and they just gonna have to, you know what I mean? They're gonna have to hear it, you know what I mean? Because
but we need to pack the stadium from all of our Yellow Jacket supporters. Come on out and support the young men.
Yeah, man, get that black and gold on and come on out there. All right,
I will be there for our guys, man. And shout out to Coach and his staff. We're doing a wonderful job with our young men and women. So
absolutely, shout out Coach Durham one time. Let me drop one of those for you. But Mayor, I appreciate you, bro. We're gonna find me a little late night snack here. Well, it ain't too late, 10:30, 10:40, something like that. But again, I appreciate you. And I'll talk to you later on this week.
All right. Thanks, sir. Hey, appreciate all the work you're doing out there.
Yep. All right, guys, there it is. The mayor of Andrews, South Carolina. You see it behind me right there. Re-elect Mayor Frank McClary. Re-elect Mayor Frank McClary, guys. Make sure you guys do what you're supposed to do. All right. There was a question asked of me earlier about if a college student is away at college, can they vote back home? Absolutely, they can. And tomorrow I'll have some information on early voting and when you can start that. Matter of fact, we'll do a whole thing on just the whole voting process so that people can have that information and act accordingly on it. All right. And so do not forget.
Mayor Frank McClary, a man on a mission. who understood the assignment: town budget, fiscal responsibility, town infrastructure, tackling neglected projects, town independence, making sure its citizens have the final say, town growth, paving the way for future investments. Re-elect Mayor Frank McClary to continue the mission of serving in the best interest of all the people of Andrews.
No doubt, Ms. Luana, I rock with you. And then let me read this part right here. So to those who wanna because this is important right here, right? It's a comment Miss Luana had on, and I didn't want to put it up right then. I wanted to give it its proper due. Let's see what we say. All right. Where we at? Because it's very important what she said. She says, okay, she said that I was at the meeting. I'll just say the mistake was discussed and we can move on. And that's I'm with that. I don't mind them talking to me the way that they were, because from again, this is key. She said she was at the meeting, okay, and there are policies being put in place, so it won't be a problem moving forward. And the main point in this is participation. We need you guys to think. So I'll be pushing that application out there. Let's get as many people on there, and let's look at branching that gap, like Ms. Luana said, between the Booster Club, the Alumni Association, and the school. So, because at the end of the day, who give a damn about a bunch of old adults and what we actually think or say? It's for and about those young men and women that put that A on their back and on their chest and represent the town of Andrews and the schools in Andrews, South Carolina. And I think that is enough said. Peace.